Ms. Manarino?
Yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Bitar talked to Ms. Dineski, and apparently she's representing herself. People versus Lindsay Dineski. This is set for the violation of the conditional bond. And also there's still the underlying case that is that there was a warrant on of the malicious use. What's the people's position on these cases?
Your Honor, as it relates to the bond, there have been numerous bond violations reported by Mr. Nerswick during the pendency of this matter. I believe there were at least 4 that were reported. Mr. Nerswick indicates there were more that he did not report, just so that he wasn't going to the police on a daily basis.
Right, I understand.
From her. It's clear, I mean, she made it clear during the pretrial with Judge Martin that she did not agree to the court's bond and wasn't going to abide by it, and she absolutely has not. There have been continued bond violations. I spoke with Mr. Nerswick for a moment this morning. He indicated that what he would like is no contact from Ms. Dineski, because the limited contact that he did afford her during the pendency of this matter, she is abused repeatedly.
Right, and so there's already a no contact in place, and she decides to ignore it. So what would you?
No, I actually don't. I actually don't. He was harassing me, and I only told him to stop harassing me.
Okay.
So if he comes to my home and he's harassing me, I have a right to say, you cannot harass me. And the only other time I talked to him was about the children, which I was told I was allowed. And I do not feel I can get a fair trial here, and I would like a change of venue, and I would like a trial, or I would like the charges to be dropped. I am not guilty of this charge.
Please be quiet so I don't have to mute you. Don't make me
I'm letting you know what I would like.
Ms. Manarino, what's the people's position on all of this?
Your Honor,
and I'm aware that there's some ongoing thing with.
Yeah, he lied to get a court order. He stole my court documents. He's been harassing me at my house daily. He's had family members harass me. He's had other people texting me that are basically telling me what he wants to say, calling me a cunt, calling me a bitch, saying I'm never going to see my kids again. He's the one harassing me.
Your children's stuff is downtown. I mean, that's what.
No, this
that's
is about
what family.
The whole reason why. The reason why he's been harassing charges on me.
I can't do anything.
Okay, but he's putting harassment, ma'am. Can I just? I'm in.
No, actually, it's my courtroom. No, you.
No, but it's my hearing, and I'm the defendant, and I have a right. I have a right.
You're right. You have the right to be muted. Because I'm not going to continue to do this with you, Ms. Dineski. I'm not. Ms. Manarino, what do the people think that they want?
Your Honor, I don't know if because there have been so many.
I'm not going to.
I would like to
lock this woman up. Ms. Dineski, you're pushing all my buttons. Listen, I'm trying to do I'm trying to figure out what Ms. Manarino thinks she wants. Because I'm not inclined to put you in jail. Although I am inclined to make you go and get a competency, because I think that perhaps you have mental health issues.
You think I was joking when I said it in my last video? I even titled it, "This is what crazy looks like." But honestly, that title barely scratches the surface. A more accurate, and still not nearly strong enough, title would be "This is what a psychopathic, narcissistic, completely clueless cave Karen looks like." And even that wouldn't do it justice.
Well, I can give you a mental eval and a note from my psychiatrist that says I don't. But when somebody's being harassed and abused, they don't act like they normally do.
What I'd like to do from this, I would like her to have a competency and criminal responsibility.
I would agree with that, Your Honor. I think that would be helpful.
I'm going to make a referral for an out of custody for competency and criminal responsibility.
Well, like I said, I would like a change of venue because this court has shown bias against me and in favor of Chuck. So I would like to change venue. I don't
even know who Chuck is, so it would be hard for me to show bias for somebody that I don't even know
but this area and the police have lied. They lied to have these charges.
That doesn't change. Changing venue only takes if I change venue.
And then you didn't on the eviction case that we had on the 10th. You did not even allow me a trial, which was my right. And you evicted me without a trial.
You had a 30-day notice to quit. And there was no lease, and I told you if you demonstrated a lease, I gave you 24 hours to bring me a proof of that lease, which you did not do. So I'm going to refer this for criminal
Ma'am, you
responsibility and
kicked me out of the room and you
competency.
never
All
told me
right?
that I could present the lease, ma'am. You never told me
I
that.
told you that you could present the lease within, listen,
You
Ms.
kicked me
Dineski,
out
bring
of the
me the
room.
lease today. Bring me the lease today then.
I will email it. I don't have a
No,
ride
I don't
there.
want it emailed. I want it brought live to
Well,
the
then I'll
court.
have to mail it because I don't have a way to get there. I will have to mail it to you.
Then email it to the court.
And not only that, but he's the one harassing me and he's abusing the system to harass me. I was extending my good faith efforts about the ending of our relationship and our children, and he took that, and instead of going to mediation, which is what I was asking him for, he had the police lie on a police report, which I can prove that they lied. I have the evidence, and the thing is my liberty should not be infringed upon because somebody else lied, and I can prove it. So that's why I would like to trial.
For today, before I do anything else, they're going to send you paperwork to get a criminal responsibility and a competency to make sure that you understand the charges.
Yes,
and
but
that
if I can, but you know what? If I can prove
all
that
of your behaviors, Ms. Dineski.
What behavior? Standing up for myself?
Evidence.
Standing up for all I have done is stand up for abuse, ma'am. You guys are helping an abusive victim because he has.
And that's your opinion today, and you're entitled to that.
And I have a
but
right.
I want to make sure that you're competent. So today, I'm going to order the competency and the criminal responsibility, and we'll go from there. Ms. Manarino, we'll let you know once she's done that. Okay.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
So when you get the paperwork, you've got to do the referral for
Yes, but if I have evidence,
how do we send her the referral for that?
So if I have evidence that this,
I have to check with Heather.
Okay. Your evidence, you'll have an opportunity once we establish that you're competent.
Yes, but why should I have to take a competency test if I can prove with my evidence that these are felonious charges?
Because that's exactly the kind of behavior you display at trial. All this extra nonsense you're pulling right now is precisely what raises red flags, making it look like you might be a certifiable nut job who needs constant supervision in a padded room.
Totally
because
erroneous.
Of your behaviors and your antics.
What behaviors? I don't have any antics, ma'am. What antics? Can you give me a lawful reason why you're going to order me to do something against my will?
All of your interruptions and your rantings make me question whether or not, and you've made statements about having mental health issues.
I asserted my rights, so you're retaliating.
I know that you have a psychiatrist. Which leads me to believe that there may be some mental health issues.
No, I have ADHD.
And if your psychiatrist says you're good, and it's my responsibility to make sure that you're competent to proceed. And so that's what I'm going to do.
And I have ADHD, very well controlled, ma'am.
The thing is, we will send the paperwork to the forensic center. They will contact Ms. Dineski and send her the paperwork as long as we have a good address on file. But that's where they'll send it to.
Okay. So you'll reach, because it's not your psychiatrist. We have the state psychiatrist.
Yes, ma'am, but I should not be forced to take a mental eval.
I note your objections.
Excuse me, let me finish, please.
Yep.
When I'm been asserting my rights, there's no antics. Yep. I have quoted laws to you. I have quoted my rights that I'm entitled to under the law. So I don't understand how you could see that as antics.
So anyway, Ms. Dineski, you've mentioned the psychiatrist multiple times, and I just think it's everybody. And I do this. This has nothing to do with you.
I'd be happy to provide you. I have a letter that I just got from my therapist. I have one from my psychiatrist, can I please just can I have a chance?
Well, except that your psychiatrist is not someone that is experienced in doing competency evaluations.
Okay, but I actually had a competency evaluation by the state of Michigan as well.
Okay.
Already.
When was that?
It was 2019.
I suggest that when you get the competency that you take that paperwork and give that to them.
So I'm perfectly competent. I don't understand, because I'm asserting my rights, why you're retaliating against me and telling me I need a mental eval because you don't personally like the way I speak, or because I have ADD. So you're discriminating against me because I have ADD. So that's part of the reason why I interrupt. And so that is actually under the ADA, you're retaliating against me because of my ADD.
It's not retaliatory.
Yes,
there's nothing retaliatory about sending someone for a competency.
Why you're infringing on my liberty by forcing me to do a mental.
You can file an appeal. You have that right. I make a decision, and you can file appeals.
The
In
police
the
who are helping
meantime,
him are
we're
corrupt.
done for today and you're going to
Okay.
get something from the forensic center and you have to go and participate in that process. And obviously you've already done it once, so you know what it,
Yeah, I mean,
you
I
know what
don't
it's
mind
like.
taking the eval. I just don't have a ride there. I don't have any way to get there. And, you know,
And I'm
I'm
not so
trying,
sure that they don't do them by Zoom now.
and that's fine if that's what they want to do.
Okay.
But, you know, this
Yep.
man has made it so he's destroyed my life. And instead of them helping me, these police, they won't let me file charges against him.
And
He comes into my house when I'm sleeping.
I don't have supervisory over the police department. I don't do anything.
No, but I'm telling you that he has been violating the law and they won't help me, Judge. They won't help me.
Here's a thought. Maybe stop being an insufferable piece of nonsense, and people who aren't obligated to help you might actually go out of their way to do so. But after hearing all the chaos you've dragged your family through, if I ever came across you in the middle of the desert and you were on fire, I'd drink whatever water I had and even, well, you get the idea, before thinking about helping you.
I'm the one being abused and I have witnesses. Literally all my my neighbors, I've had to have people stay with me for my own safety, and he's saying I'm harassing him. And then and just please hear me out. He went to Washtenaw County. He lied about his address on the paperwork so he could go to Washtenaw County because I had a PPO against him, and his ex-girlfriend, who he tried to kill, had a PPO from before. And so he didn't want to go to court in Wayne County because of all these things. And then he started making false allegations about, I was trying to talk to him about our children. And one of our children he took, and I was worried about her. And then the other children he wouldn't support. So me having a good faith effort, and I had a reason to talk to him, would be different if I was just harassing him and threatening him. I was just saying, if you do not, take care of your children and you don't let me see our other daughter, then I will have to take legal action. That is not harassment. That's asserting my rights. And he has abused the system, and he went to Washtenaw County and he filed stuff there with no jurisdiction because he lied on his, then he should not be considered credible. And you can call the court yourself in Washtenaw County and find that out. He's the one who needs a mental eval because he has lied. He has stolen my court documents out of the mailbox. I have shadow of a doubt proof that he has done that, and the police will not investigate it. They have refused to investigate federal felonies. He stole at least 4 court documents, so I did not know.
If you can't get Van Buren Township to do it, then I suggest that you go to Michigan State Police and make the complaints with them.
Ma'am, they said it's not their jurisdiction.
It is their jurisdiction. When there's an allegation against the local police department, Michigan State Police will get involved.
Yes, ma'am. But I tried. I have proof that I tried to. Or the sheriff's department. So I'm telling you as a judge that the law is being broken and that your court is being used to abuse me, a victim, and nobody's listening to me.
You
So I don't
have an opportunity. There's nothing that's happening on this case right now. It's pending still. So there's nothing that's happening on this. I am telling you though that as long as this case pends, and obviously even for your best interest, you're better off not having any contact with them.
Well, no, here's the problem, Your Honor. With this case pending, they're not going to give me custody of my children, which that's the whole point of this.
This case, I've never seen anyone with a case such as yours. It's a telephone harassment that someone
which is why it should be dropped
because of that case.
Well, he's using that and he used it to get a PPO, a fraudulent PPO. So he's using fraudulent charges that I can easily prove that should be dismissed based on the fact that there was no malicious intent and based on the fact that I had a reason to communicate with him. And so that's protected free speech.
Well, but now from today forward, I'm telling you, you shouldn't have contact with him now, though. It's only causing you more problems.
He has my children illegally. So he won't even tell me how the children are. He kidnapped the children.
That's funny, because as I remember it, the FBI didn't ping Chuck's phone to track him down. They didn't tackle Chuck to the ground when they found him, and they certainly didn't hand his kids back to you. No, they pinged your cell phone, tackled you instead, and returned Chuck's children back to him.
The judge that's in charge of deciding where the children go, that judge is not going to look favorably if you continue to have contact when you've been told not to. I'm just giving you some
fine. I understand
advice.
And that's fine. I understand that. I don't want contact with him except for about our children. And right now he is he's in violation of MCL 7.0 or 7.50 parental kidnapping. He
But
lied.
that's not I can't do anything about that. Even if all of that's
The Sumter
true,
won't
I
press,
don't
yeah,
have
but Sumter won't
authority.
press charges against him, ma'am.
But it's in front of a judge downtown that's made a decision,
No,
I
it's
imagine.
no, it's not. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Please listen. Please listen. I told you he filed in Washtenaw County, knowingly that he did not have jurisdiction there, and he lied about his address and put a fake
Well, then
address.
if it's in Washtenaw County,
it
then
was
you have to
vacated.
go deal
I
with
did.
family court there.
No, we don't, because there wasn't jurisdiction, and he stole my court documents, which I proved to that judge, and she had to vacate it. And he lied to the FBI.
Well, then if there's
with that
nothing
court-
pending right now, you need to file something in Wayne County and
And yes,
family
ma'am,
court saying that.
that's my, yes, and I'm
Okay.
doing that. But what I'm saying is that this is going to be used against me, and that's a violation of my liberty because these
Well, you
charges
haven't
are
even
erroneous.
filed it yet, so it can't be
Yes,
used
I
against
have.
you.
Yes, I have. I have filed.
Well, you
it.
just said there was nothing in Wayne County, so you're being
No, I didn't say that. I said this. What I was.
contradictory.
No, that's not. You misunderstood me. I said what he filed was not in Wayne County.
Okay,
He
okay.
took it and
But if
went
you
to
have a Wayne
Washtenaw
County action, they'll make a decision. But I have a lot of other
But in the
cases today, and I
meantime,
think I've
he has
given you more than
illegally-
enough time.
But you should be able to tell him to tell me what's going on with the kids. He took two
I
two
can't
young
do anything
children.
about the kids, Ms. Dineski.
Well,
I don't
then how
have
come-
jurisdiction over the children.
But the last judge said I couldn't contact him when it came to Haley.
I
And
said
that's one
that
of my
you can't have
children, too.
contact with him. I can't tell him what to do with the children. That's an issue for family court.
No, but if he's
All right,
breaking the
for
law,
today,
this is a criminal law,
we're all
ma'am.
set for today. All right, and
Okay.
you'll look for something from forensics.
Okay, thank you.
All right, that wraps up the first of 6 hearings. At this point, Chuck wasn't allowed at the residence because Lindsay Denisi had filed a temporary ex parte protective order. That order was initially granted but later rescinded for being frivolous. Still, it let Lindsay Denisi effectively squat in Chuck's cousin's home, and this hearing marks her first eviction proceeding to get her out.
On Deborah Cripps versus Charles Nerswick and Lindsay Dineski, that the last hearing, I had indicated that the plaintiff was entitled to possession. I asked if there was a lease. You said that there was not a lease. Ms. Dineski said there was a lease. Subsequent to that, Ms. Dineski sent documentation to the court of text messages from your client indicating that there was a valid lease through September of this year. Which brings me back to the conclusion that there's something in writing that your client indicated, even though it's a text message, but that constitutes, in my mind, some type of a lease, unless Ms. Dineski isn't paying rent or there's a violation of that agreement. There is something in writing that says, although it's not a typical lease, there is a written document that says that she leases the premises through, I don't remember if it's September 1st or September 30th, whatever it is. That's a problem.
Okay, I think I have a copy, Judge, or someone copied me. I think a text message. I don't have text messages, plural. But
Yeah, a text message that says the lease is until whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, but Judge, there is no signed lease. We don't have any signed lease by the parties.
Well, it's a determination of whether that communication from your client constitutes an agreement for a lease through September.
Okay.
I mean, you're right. If the text had been from Ms. Dineski to your client, I would agree with you that your client didn't agree. But the text is from your client to her.
Oh. I'm not sure what that is.
It's Mr. Beal. Mr. Beal, mute yourself. Thank you.
Oh. Yeah, but Judge, there's no indication of any acceptance of that.
That's to have a hearing to determine whether there is or not.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fine, Judge. I wasn't sure, Judge, when I had filed my writ, because you had indicated at the last hearing that Ms. Dineski would have to provide that within 1 day. I didn't hear anything for.
Right, no, I know. And then she provided a bunch of documentation and then they brought it up and then, by the time I looked at it, I said, she's got, go ahead and set it for a hearing.
Oh, okay.
But my
Yes.
question to you, I guess my one question to you is, there is no allegation. She's continuing to pay rent, correct?
Well, I think my client could probably answer that, Judge, because I was approaching this as a termination, not as a non-payment. I think
Right.
Mr. Nerswick, up until one point, was paying rent, but then there was no rent being paid. So, I mean, you can ask. I have no problem with the court.
Has there been rent paid, Ms. Cripps?
The last time rent was paid was February 1st. So March.
That's what I did ask.
I'm sorry. Let me back up. March 1st was the last time that rent was paid. So April, May, and then tomorrow rent would be due again.
Right.
And they harassed me out of the property, so I haven't even been living there. And I tried to do a goodwill and good faith.
Well, if you're not living there, Ms. Danuski, then
I didn't want to move.
Contesting this.
Because I was forced out. They changed the locks. They harassed me illegally, mercilessly.
Okay. No. But let me just stop you. Then you can file a separate lawsuit against her.
Which I plan on doing, but I was forced out of the house.
Okay,
Literally,
but you're not living there anymore,
Well,
correct?
I want to live there. I never wanted to leave. I tried to make an agreement to pay rent with her. She refused to communicate with me. Then they filed the eviction.
So you want to access the premises so you can come post the bond for the 3 months rent?
I mean, I at least want to get the rest of my things.
No.
At the very least. And I would like to.
Okay, then how much time do you need to get the rest of your things?
Well, I'm not sure because every time I've gone back there, there's been someone there. I don't even know if my things are there or not. I need to at least go and assess what is there and see what's going on at the property because I haven't been able to go back there since that I haven't gone back since the one day that you said that the eviction would have taken place.
No. I said I was going to I still haven't signed the writ. I'm trying to get you to tell me.
I know, but you gave Charles a PPO against me.
I didn't give any PPO.
I got a paperwork that said that you gave him a PPO.
I don't issue PPOs, Ms. Danuski. That's not even humanly possible. I don't issue PPOs. I'm not a circuit court judge. There's the circuit court judge does the PPOs.
It must have been a fraudulent paperwork that he had.
It could be.
And I'll send that to you so you can see how fraudulent these people are and how corrupt they are. And I would like an investigation because
I don't investigate. That's not my job.
Well, the police refuse to investigate.
And I can't force they're a different branch of government. There's nothing I can do about that.
But it's funny because judges will order the police to do stuff like take my children unlawfully from me.
I did not have anything to do with taking your children either.
No, but the whole entire eviction and the whole entire false charges of the malicious use of the phone.
And I brought you back when you sent the text message that said that Ms. Cripps had given you access to the property.
But you also issued a fraudulent bench warrant against me when my daughter had a blood clot, and that caused the police to arrest me and take my children and give them.
I issued a bench warrant against you because you didn't appear.
I did.
And then when you did appear, I withdrew the bench warrant.
No, you did not. I was arrested falsely because of Charles.
That didn't come from me. The arrest
fraudulent. Why did I get a bench warrant when my daughter had a DVT? And I called.
I have no idea.
Well, that's what happened.
Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Because of that fraudulent warrant, my children were taken away from me.
Mr. Robinson, I'm going to give her 2 weeks until June the 15th. To get her stuff and I'll sign the writ on June the 15th. So you have 2 weeks to go into the premises. Probably not, but go ahead, Mr. Nerswick.
Yeah, he follows me around and comes.
Well, but if you have a PPO, then any of her stuff is there, then she has to be able to do a civil standby to get her stuff.
Yeah, but is my stuff even there?
Yeah,
And I
she
want
has
my
to do,
children
you have to have
back,
the
ma'am.
police
I would like to
department
have
go
my
back
children
with
back.
you.
He
But
kidnapped
when
my
I s-
children because of the warrant, the fraudulent warrant that you issued. And so I have a right to have you order a pickup order to get my children back because of that warrant that you.
I don't even have the jurisdiction to do that.
Yes,
I
you
thought you
do.
said you went to
Any
law
court.
school.
Yeah, but let's be honest. When she said she went to law school, I highly doubt she meant any school that didn't include eating crayons as part of the curriculum.
I don't have
can give
any
you the Supreme Court
jurisdiction over
proof.
children.
Anytime my rights are interposed, any agent of the government and I can assert my rights to any agent of the government. I can read you the case law if you would like, but because of a mistake that was made by this court, the police took my children from me and gave them to him, and he does not have custody of them. He doesn't even have a legal right established to the children because paternity.
Okay, you can submit that to me and I'll look at it if you want me to sign something.
Yes, please. I would really appreciate that.
Defendant
Because he
to,
has kept the. I just want you to know he's kept the children away from me illegally since May 6th. He has not spoken to me about them. He has not let me see them, and they are 3 and 4, and one of them I was still nursing. So I will send you that, and I would really like.
if you're still nursing a 3-year-old, that's a different conversation.
No, that's not. If the La Leche League says 3 years old is optimal.
I said it's a different conversation.
So
I
I'm just
didn't
saying
make a
it's traumatic.
judgment on it, Ms.
I'm just saying
Dineski.
it's traumatic. The point is it's traumatic for the
Defendant to
children.
remove her property by June 15th with a civil standby.
Well, it was
Writ
going to take
writ to issue on June 15th, Mr. Robinson.
it might take me a lot longer than a civil standby to get my things. And
I can't help it. He's got a PPO that I don't have anything to do with.
The
I can't
PPO
tell
has
you
your
to
name
go
on
get
it,
your
ma'am.
stuff.
I think
The
it's fraudulent.
PPO does not. Mr. Nerswick, who signed the PPO? Thank you. Thank you very much. My name's not on it, Mr. Dineski. It's Judge Triplett. By writ to issue June 15th. Yes, Mr. Nerswick?
That is not true at all. He's a liar.
That's fine.
Yeah, I
I'm
haven't been
just
there
going
in
to give her
weeks
2
either.
weeks, and Mr. Nerswick, she can either come with the civil standby or she can appeal me. Those are the situations. All right, Mr. Robinson.
Judge, just so I could clarify, you're going to hold off signing.
Yep.
I already filed the
2
writ.
weeks.
So. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks. Everybody's all set. Bye.
All right, that wraps up the first eviction hearing. Next, we're heading over to Judge Oakley's courtroom for the following hearing.
Judge, next is Cripps versus Nerswick and Dineski.
Thank you.
Good morning, Judge Steve Robinson, appearing on behalf of Paula Cripps.
Good morning, Mr. Robinson. Ms. Dineski, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Yes, Your Honor.
All right, and do we have a Mr. Nerswick?
Yes,
well?
Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Activate your camera if you've got it, Mr. Nerswick. If you don't worry about it. Mr. Robinson, what are we doing?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to speak with both Mr. Nerswick and Ms. I apologize if I'm pronouncing that wrong, Ms. Dineski. Mr. Nerswick is in agreement. This is a termination of tenancy, Judge. It's not a non-payment. Ms. Dineski has indicated to me that she's filing a motion for change of venue due to wrongful prosecution. Not quite sure the substance of that, Judge, or how it relates to our particular case. Like I said, this is done pursuant to a 30-day notice to quit back in February, and that's where we're at, Judge.
Mr. Dineski, explain to me what your motion is going to be about.
Well, I wanted to ask for a change of venue due to there's other proceedings in this court where I have been mistreated and maliciously prosecuted. They have shown bias against me and in favor of Charles Nerswick and the Van Buren police who have in violation of. And it's this eviction. Well, up until the point where it became before this court, it was just the Van Buren police and Charles Nerswick, and I would say also Miss Cripps because he's related to her. They're cousins, and he attacked me, and I kicked him out.
You're getting off track.
No, I'm actually, this is retaliation. The eviction itself is retaliation.
Okay. Well, that's all right. Well, you're not going to get a change of venue because you think it's a retaliatory eviction.
But then things have happened since then where the court has entertained malicious and frivolous charges against me that don't even have jurisdictional basis or standing at all to be brought, and they've issued a fraudulent warrant for my arrest, and they have sent the police to my house to harass me multiple times, and I just don't feel that you seem like a very
That's enough. That's enough. All right, Mr. Robinson, we'll spin this off to one of the other judges, and the lady can file a motion.
Well, it's not you that I have a problem with, it's the other judges, sir.
No, but Mr. Robinson's law partner is my wife, so that wouldn't be appropriate for me to hear that.
Oh, I see. Well, I think it should be in a different venue because the other judges.
Well, you'll have to file a motion for that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I was going to say, if you believe that you could be impartial, because so far I've watched several of your cases, you do seem like a good impartial judge, and as long as you can assure me of that, then I would be happy to proceed. I just wanted you to know my concerns, because I definitely feel like the other judges in this court have maliciously prosecuted me unfairly, and one of them issued an unlawful warrant, which I will be suing the court for.
I guess nobody bothered to mention the immunities that judges and prosecutors enjoy in that super real law school you went to. In other words, you won't be successfully suing any of them. Well, technically you can try, but you won't win. And you can stop with all the excessive compliments for Judge Oakley. He already told you he's married, and honestly, he doesn't seem like the type of guy interested in anyone who smells like regurgitated crayons.
I appreciate your assessment of my character, but it would really be a bad idea for me to hear a case that my bed partner, her law partner, is on the other side of the case.
That's understood, sir.
That's not smart for me.
And I appreciate that. Thank you, Your Honor. You are definitely an honorable judge in my eyes.
Thank you. So you'll be able to file your motions in front of whatever Judge Martin or Judge Green this ends up in front of, and they'll hear your motion. If Mr. Robinson wants to argue against it, they'll hear both sides and they'll make a decision. Understood?
Are you able to dismiss an unlawful warrant in this court that didn't have jurisdiction? Because my liberty right now is being infringed upon by this court. And I can't even leave my home because they have the police watching my house for something I didn't do.
Let me answer it this way. If one of the other judges in my building made a decision, I can't rule on an appeal to that. You can't appeal.
Not an appeal, but I'm attacking the judgment based on the fact that
you've interrupted me 4 times. 4 times you've interrupted me. I'm not putting up with a 5th. I'll just remove you from the meeting. You've asked me a question. I'm attempting to answer it. If you want me to answer it, you have to be quiet.
Yes, sir.
If Judge Green or Judge Martin issue a warrant and you think that decision is wrong, you cannot appeal their decision to me because we're all on the same level as district court judges. If you want to appeal a decision made by a district court judge, you have to take it to the circuit court.
Yes, sir. I'm not asking for an appeal. Let me clarify. I'm attacking a judgment, and there's Supreme Court rulings that say that I can attack a fraudulent judgment or a judgment base that doesn't have jurisdiction in any court at any time. Okay. So I'm proper, as long as I'm properly before the court. So that's why I was asking. Because it's a void judgment.
Before the court. You're asking me to make a decision on a case that's not mine. So I can't do that.
Okay, I understand. Thank you.
Judge, may I interject? So I'm making a note in the file that this case will be blind draw to one of the other judges. I would suggest that you file your motion as soon as you can so we don't have to let too much time languish on the file. Judge,
yes, Your Honor.
Judge, if I may make a request for an expedited hearing date, and without trying to poison the well, there's been several police runs to this residence. There have been people that have moved in. There's been removal of personal property. There's been, we're not allowed on the property to make maintenance or lawn mowing or other matters. So it's really become quite problematic, Judge. So
yes, but I'm responsible for the lawn maintenance, so there's no need for that.
Okay.
And I've only sold my own personal property and no one
Ma'am, you
else's.
gotta
So
be
this
quiet.
is not
Just stop
true.
talking, Mr. Neski. Mr. Neski.
Well,
quit
she's
talking.
making false
Just-
statements against me.
All right, goodbye.
And just like that, Judge Oakley earns a spot on her federal civil rights lawsuit list that wraps up the eviction saga. Lindsay Denisi was eventually evicted, and the property was returned completely destroyed and in disrepair. From here, we move on to the final hearing of the day, an arraignment for malicious destruction of property. But before we dive into the courtroom, I've got a few Ring doorbell videos to show you. In them, Lindsay Denisi isn't at Chuck's house, she's at Chuck's ex-wife's house, banging on the door with a 2x4 and a brick.
Lucas! Allie, Lucas! Mommy's here! I miss you!
You need to get away from my house.
No, I want my kids! They canceled the court order! They vacated it because...
I don't give a fuck! I'm gonna tell you right now, bitch, I ain't even working. If you're still there, you're gonna get fucked up!
They're here! No! No! I want my
Fuck away from my goddamn house!
Call the police!
And here is a picture of the damage done to the door.
People versus Lindsay Denisi.
Okay.
Good morning, Ms. Denisi. Do we have Mr. Jadala on here? My understanding is you spoke to Mr. Jadala and that you're asking for an adjournment. You're asking for discovery and an adjournment. Is that correct?
Well, I'm asking for it to be dismissed first and foremost because there's no crime. I went to a house where my children were being held illegally and I knocked on the door. So I don't understand how that could be considered malicious destruction of property. And I do not believe that there's enough evidence for there to be any charges whatsoever against me for malicious destruction of property.
Okay.
Especially since there was no malice and I went there to
it's only
retrieve
set
my
for a
children.
pre-trial today, and I know you're versed in the law, Ms. Denisi, so you understand that at this point, I can't entertain a motion to dismiss. It's just set for a pre-trial today. And so, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but if there's no evidence, there still has to be evidence.
Ms. Denisi, Mr. Jadala wants to speak on your behalf. Please let him.
Your Honor, I've spoken to Ms. Denisi, and I understand that she wishes to proceed representing herself. What I've advised her, I would ask the court to do, is she's respectfully requesting discovery. She doesn't have an address. She'd like the discovery to be available to her at the court so she could pick her up. And I told her after a review of discovery, she may file a motion to dismiss, present it to the court, and you could rule at that time. She understands
yes, and that's what I'm doing, but I wanted to just say that I had the intentions of wanting it to be dismissed.
No, I understand that. Mr. Young, can you produce the discovery at the court within the next couple of weeks or whatever?
You want me to do it at the court?
Yeah, she doesn't have an address, so.
And that's not likely to change anytime soon, unless the post office starts assigning addresses to 7-Eleven dumpsters.
Or if you have an email, you can email it. You can upload and email it to her.
Yeah, well, I'm going to need the body cam footage. I'm going to need all the phone calls from Sumter Police. I need all the police reports from Sumter Police because I've made several police reports that they ignored of these people harassing me and attacking me and doing lots of unlawful things.
In this case, Ms. Denisi, the discovery in this case is limited to this case.
Well,
it's not discovery of everything. It's
yes,
limited to discovery.
I'm asking, yes, excuse me, ma'am. I'm asking for discovery.
Speaking, and it's my courtroom, and you know how I am, Ms. Denisi.
No, this is the people's courtroom, ma'am.
I will mute you and not allow you to speak. I'm in control of the administration of being able to control my docket, and I will remove you if you try to talk over me.
Well, you were
So what
talking
I
over me. I was not
explained to
finished
you-
talking, and the other
yes, you are
evidence
finished
is
talking. Ms. Dineski,
the
you're
other
finished talking. Ms. Dineski, if you unmute yourself again and try to speak over me, I will remove you. I'm just telling you. Now listen to me. I'm only requiring Mr. Young to produce whatever the people have in this case. That's what discovery is. It's documentation or evidence that's going to be used in this case. And if he doesn't produce something and he tries to use it at trial, then that's a violation of the rules of discovery. So whatever documents, I don't know what Mr. Young is going to try to use at trial in this case. Mr. Young, do you know enough about it to tell me whether or not it's just testimony of witnesses or whatever it is?
I don't. Police reports for sure. I don't know if there's any body cam or not. And I have some information from those who suffered as a result of this incident. So I will have probably those documents and that information, and that's it.
Well, my point was in saying the other evidence that I'm talking about shows that this is a case of malicious prosecution by the police in Sumter and by the people who are filing the charges. So that evidence would be relevant to this case because it shows that they were actually maliciously destroying my property. They kidnapped my children.
Well,
they
if you have
were
specific
attacking me.
police reports that you want, Ms. Dineski, you have to list out what days you made a report or whatever it is.
Well, wouldn't
Do you
it
know what
just
I mean?
be
The
easier to
prosecution
say?
only knows, Mr. Young only knows about whatever police report from the date of May the 8th.
And I
He's not going to know
get
if
that,
you
but
call
wouldn't it?
the police on May the 1st, Mr. Young's not necessarily going to know that, and he's not going to use that. So it's up to you to get from the police department any police reports that you file.
Your Honor, she has every right to FOIA that information as long as it's unrelated to the charges before the court. Now, I will give her the discovery as it relates to all those matters.
Yeah.
But if she wants to go back in time, back into the Wayback Machine, that's fine, but she has to file the FOIA request and obtain it that way. It's not really a matter of discovery. I'm not using it.
I thought I could request discovery for my side as well.
As her defense. I mean, she's entitled to documentation
And if
for her defense, but she has to connect it to the date in question. It has to be directly correlated to the May 8th incident.
I don't really see why the court should have to hold her hand through discovery just because she wants to represent herself. And I doubt the prosecutor wants to spend the entire day helping someone try to beat a case she's clearly guilty of.
Here's what I'm
Well, if I'm claiming malicious prosecution.
Go ahead, Mr. Young.
I don't have a problem looking and trying to get copies of reports and seeing what I can print, but what I'm concerned about is that I may not hit everything because I'm not going to sit over in the police department for all afternoon trying to figure all this out. I'll go there and I'll try to get some reports, and I don't want to come back that somehow I'm withholding evidence. It's much easier to say I'll give you the stuff as it relates to this, but I will represent to the court that I will see what other reports I can get.
And if she has any other specific dates, you can look at those dates. Do you know what I'm saying?
Can't you do it by address and name? You should be able to pull up an address and get, because that's how I did it through Van Buren, but Sumter.
You know what, Judge? Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the discovery for this case unless I get an order otherwise, and the order's got to specifically say what you want me to do. I'm not, see, this is my point. We're going to go around and around and around like at a carnival, and where we land, nobody knows. I will produce the evidence, the documents, the discovery as it relates to this case 1 week from today. I'll leave it at the front desk. Anything else has got to come to me in an order.
Okay.
Well, that's what I'm asking for, is for the judge to issue a subpoena to Sumter because they are maliciously prosecuting me and they will not cooperate with anything that I ask.
In the first place, I'm not going to issue a subpoena. If there are specific dates, Ms. Dineski, you can give us the specific dates, or you can go to Sumter Township and FOIA for those specific dates for documentation.
Well, every time I go there, they refuse to help me.
Then Ms. Dineski, tell me.
That's why I'm asking the court.
Sure, give me what dates. give me what dates, besides the May 8th date, which he's going to give you, give me the other dates that you made a police report.
There's probably between 15 and 20 different dates because that's how bad the
Give me the dates.
Well, I'll have to, I mean, I'd have to email them because I don't have them off the top of my head. I have to go and look at all the times I called there.
That's not how it works. You can't email the
Well, that's why I said if you just ask. I just don't have the date. I mean, if you want to wait, I can look them up, but it might take quite a while. I didn't want to keep you from the other things you have to do, and you should be able to request it
for the day, Ms. Daneski. We'll wait.
Okay,
so if you want to put together the 10 dates or whatever,
I'm pretty sure. What I'm saying is it could save everyone a lot of time if we just address, because they can look it up specifically by address, and you can just literally. I
don't know if they can or not. I don't know anything about their system. I don't know if they can look it up by your name or the address or not. They're not Van Buren. Just because Van Buren does something one way does not mean that Sumter does it that way.
I mean, that's kind of the same procedure at all police stations.
It doesn't. I don't know whether they keep their documentations that way. I want from you specific dates, so I'll wait. So go ahead and give me the specific dates. You're the only case that I have left this morning. So we can wait. Go ahead and I'll put you on hold. Let me know when you got the list. Okay?
I'm going to let you in on a little secret. I've got most of these police reports along with the body cam footage. But that's all part of the surprise for part 4, so make sure you stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, Mr. Young, we're just going to wait for her list if there are specific dates. If not, it is just for the 8th.
I just spoke to Detective Saligen. There were 2 officers that responded on this date. I'll get the body chest cam from each officer. I'll have that in the next couple of days. I understand there's also a tape that was submitted to the Sumter Township Police Department from the victims that provides some additional information. He's downloading that. So there'll be 3 tapes. I don't know how many reports. I'm assuming 1, but there might be a supplemental report. And 1 week from today, by 10 a.m., I will leave it at the front desk.
Okay. But hang out until I get if there are any other specific dates, if you have police reports on those dates or not. But let's just wait for a minute.
Okay. I can't wait forever, but I mean,
I'm not asking you to wait forever.
I know you're not. I didn't mean it that way. I just meant it. Whatever. Let's just see what happens. Okay.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know I was muted. You guys had me muted and I was trying to tell you all the dates.
No, I didn't mute you. You muted yourself. Anyway,
I don't
ahead.
know how to. I don't even know how to mute myself.
That's fine.
Somebody
Ms.
muted
Daneski.
me.
What are the dates?
February 3rd.
Hang on.
February.
Hang on 1 second. These are all Sumter Townships. It can't be a different department, okay?
Yep, these are all Sumter.
Okay, go ahead. February 3rd.
There's actually one also on, was it I believe it was January 19th as well.
January 19th.
And then February 3rd, February 16th, February 17th, March 1st, March 2nd, March 3rd, March 29th, April 5th, April 14th, April 15th, April 29th, May 4th, May 5th, May 6th, May 8th.
Well, the 8th will be included. Nope, nothing past the 8th. We don't go past the date of the charge.
Are you seriously telling me that from January 19th to May 8th, you had 16 separate police interactions over this matter? That's an impressive and alarming average of 1 police report per week for 16 straight weeks. And that includes 2 intense 3-day streaks, March 1st to 3rd, and May 4th to 6th. Something tells me that if you keep this up, a lengthy prison sentence is eventually going to come knocking, probably stemming from one of your countless malicious 911 calls.
Did you get all those
Okay.
dates, Mr. Young? If there's any police report on any of those dates, produce it. If there's not, there's not.
I'm only producing police reports.
Yep, that's all you should
Well,
have.
and then on like the May 4th and May 5th and May 6th, there should be body cam footage where they were there at my
On the May
house and they
dates,
were
Mr.
destroying
Young,
my
Ms.
property.
Dineski, please stop. On the May dates, Mr. Young, because it's within a couple of days of the incident, if there's body cam, if there's not, there's not.
It's going to be at a different address than the address that they reported me being at. It's at where they came. The person who lives at the house who said I maliciously destroyed their property actually came to my house when I wasn't there with the police, and the police let him destroy my property.
If there's a police
I wasn't
report
there.
from the 4th, 5th, or 6th, they'll produce whatever in relationships to these parties,
Okay.
Mr. Young.
And that includes the body cam footage?
If there is any.
Okay, perfect.
That's from the 4th, 5th, and 6th. In this incident's the 8th, which I indicated I do have body cam and.
For the 8th, yeah. But if they have anything for the 4th, 5th, or 6th that involves any of these people, produce it. Otherwise, just police reports. Can you do that within 2 weeks, Mr. Young? Can you do that?
Yeah, I think you better give me another week because I just knew that 3.
Well, let me give Michelle, what's the next date that I can give her? Michelle, what's the next Sumter date?
10th.
August 10th?
Yeah.
And if you get it to her if you get it to us, how much time do you need? Do you want till the 3rd, 3 weeks?
That's fine.
All right. So, Ms. Dineski, you can pick this stuff up on August the 3rd, and then we'll see you again on August the 10th. At what time, Michelle?
At 9:50.
At 9:50.
Okay.
All right.
And
So
then
you can
is that
come
gonna
in
be
to the
available
court
for
on
me to
August
pick
the
up?
3rd. Pardon?
Since I don't have anywhere for you to mail that to right now, am I
You're
able to
bringing
pick
it
that
to
up?
the court, and you can pick it up on August 3rd.
I'm talking about the court date information.
Oh, the court date information, it's the same login. It's with me.
I can email it.
And then I haven't.
She'll email it to you.
Okay, thank you. And then I didn't receive anything about any of the other stuff. Like, I never received anything about the eviction. And just so you know, the Sumter police refused to follow your order so that I could go get my stuff, and all my stuff was thrown out from that house.
I don't know what I don't have that file in front of me right now. And so when you come in on the 3rd, you can ask for a copy of that file if you want.
I have a copy of the file. What I'm telling you is you gave an order saying that I could go get my stuff, and the Sumter police, this is part of the malicious prosecution I'm talking about. The Sumter police denied your order and denied letting me go to that house to get my things.
And
all my things were thrown out.
I can't deal with that file right now. I don't have it in front of me, so I don't have it.
Well, I filed something on it, and you guys wouldn't look at it.
Well, I
filed a motion.
I think it was told, Michelle, you would pause this.
I was told to file it, and I filed it the way that it was supposed to be filed, and I never received any response back saying it was denied.
No, I know that it was. I
need all that documentation.
I know that I had multiple after the file was out of my hands that it was an appeal. Any complaints?
No, I asked for a trial, and I was denied a trial, which is a violation of my rights. I repeatedly asked for a trial.
You can appeal that decision. You've been told multiple times you can appeal the circuit court on the landlord.
But why? How do I appeal? You can't appeal.
I can't give you legal advice. I cannot give you legal advice.
I'm not asking for legal advice, but the thing is I know legally that I was denied my right to a trial, and I shouldn't have to appeal that.
You can appeal the decision. We're all set for today. Thank you, everybody.
But again, what about how they refuse to give me my things?
You need to come in on August 3rd and pick up those documents, and then we will see you here on August the 10th. All right? You're all set for today. You mean in the Zoom? Yes. But you got to come live on the 3rd to pick up your stuff. All right, everybody, we're done.
Bye.
This wasn't just a hearing, it was a full-on battle for the truth. Allegations flew, delays dragged on, and questions went unanswered, but one thing's certain, this story isn't finished. And the next court date? It could change everything.